So hello everyone, thank you so much for joining us. My name is Kate and I'm the co-founder of the Creative Society with my business partner Eimear, who is on my right. I don't know where she is for you guys. Myself and Eimear set up the Creative Society in December of last year. So we're a relatively new business, but we're a training and social media agency and we're based in Cork. So we are going to be your host for today's workshop. Thank you so much to everyone who joined again, and we'll be presenting a slideshow throughout. So if you want to have yourself on mute and if you want to have your camera off, you're absolutely welcome to. You don't have to have your camera on at all today. Everyone is pretty familiar with Zoom anyway, but just to give you guys an outline of how Zoom works, if you don't know how to use Zoom, which I think 99% of people in Ireland will do at this stage, there's a mute button down on the bottom left that you can use to mute or unmute yourself. There's a video button next to that where you can turn on your video if you want to, and there's a chat box in the center. So if you want to ask questions throughout, we'd encourage you guys to use that chat box, okay? So we want to make it as interactive as possible. So like that, if you have any questions, definitely ask. We have a lot to pack into the hour, don't we? We're like, it's insane. So we will be flying through it. But like that, if you have any questions, definitely stop us if you're feeling lost or anything. So now I'm going to share my screen here and we'll start presenting. So today's topic is Instagram Starter Kit for Business, guys. So just to give you an overview of our business, the Creative Society. First of all, if you want to have your camera and your mic off, like I said, you absolutely can. And we'd encourage you to take pictures throughout as well and share them on social media. So you can pop them up on your stories and just make sure you tag us at thecreativesociety.ie. So our story then, the Creative Society was founded by myself, Kate, and my business partner, Eimear. Our background is in the beauty industry, and we found through years of working with small businesses that there were no resources readily available to teach them how to use social media, basically to build their customer base. So we developed a series of workshops to help small business owners, specifically there in beauty industry, but we do take on other clients as well, to become successful through social media. So these are delivered in plain English, which I think is massive for us because a lot of people don't understand the jargon that comes with marketing sometimes. So we deliver them in plain English and in an easy to understand fashion so that they have the tools to run their own social media channels in-house. So empowerment is at the center of absolutely everything that we do at the Creative Society. So for today's workshop, you're in the right place if you want to expand your knowledge of Instagram as a marketing tool for your business and you're ready to level up and engage with your target market in new and exciting ways. So our outline today, guys, for the webinar, we have 4 modules for you. The first module is getting started. So it's how to correctly set up your business or creator account on Instagram and the different types of content and how to optimize them. Our second module then is Instagram content, so content pillars, content genres, and optimizing your content. Our third module is increasing engagement. So this is massive for Instagram, how to grow your account and increase engagement and the do's and don'ts of engagement. And our final module, Eimear is going to take you on a tour of Instagram stories and show you the different features and how you can use stories to maximize your potential on social media. So I'm going to hand it over to Eimear now, and she's going to go through our first module, which is getting started.
Amazing, thanks Kate. So yeah, we're going to look at making sure that our accounts and everything are correctly set up so that we can convert those visitors to our profile into followers. So the first thing that we're going to take a look at is business accounts and creator accounts, and why you're using Instagram in general as a business. So over 1 billion people use Instagram every month. 500 million people use Instagram stories every single day, which is like an insane number. Instagram users spend an average of 30 minutes per day on the platform, but I know that I spend a lot more, so I'm definitely above average there. And 81% of people we use Instagram to help research products and services. And I know myself, if I'm looking for, for example, like with Republic of Work, like I found them through socials, not through Google or anything like that. It's through social media that people are searching for things now. So you definitely want to make sure that you have a really, really good presence on your social media. So you can choose then between personal, business, or creator accounts on Instagram. So the business versus creator accounts on Instagram. So essentially they're pretty much the same. There's just different options when it comes to them, but both of them will allow you to get insights and analytics from your content and see how it's performing. You can promote your posts and create ads through Facebook Ads Manager when you're set up as a business account. And you can add links to your Instagram stories if you have over 10,000 followers, or if you have an Instagram shop, you can add links to your stories. You can schedule posts through Facebook Creator Studio, and you can create shoppable Instagram posts then as well with having that shop set up. So there's no major difference between the Instagram creator and the Instagram business accounts. Creator accounts have access to nearly all the same features that business accounts have. Plus you can access chart music through a creator account, and that's a massive thing. So business accounts can actually only access royalty-free music, but they can be linked to third-party planning apps then like Planoly and Preview. We personally recommend setting up as a creator account because I'm sure you're blue in the face from hearing like that reels are so important to your profile right now. And in order to create reels and have full access to all of the sounds that are available with reels, a creator account is definitely more beneficial when it comes to that. And your creator account works with Facebook Creator Studio for scheduling and planning your posts. So there's definitely, like I said, pros and cons to both, but for us, the creator account comes out on top every single time. If you do want to change to a business account or a creator account, how to do so is go to the burger menu, so those 3 lines at the top of your profile, and get into your settings, and then go to account, and then you click switch account type in blue at the bottom. And essentially you'll figure out what you are by kind of process of elimination. So if you're already a business account, you won't have the option to switch to a business account. Same with the creator account. If you're already a creator account, you won't have the option to switch to one. But if you are a personal account and you're running your business through socials, definitely switch over. So switch to either the business or creator account, whichever you feel will suit you better. But definitely get onto them, because those insights and those different features that you can access through being a business account are really going to be a game changer for you for sure. So the next thing then, once you've got your creator or business account set up, is optimizing your bio. So your bio is essentially your profile description on Instagram. So it's where followers or potential customers can quickly learn about your business. So you have to make sure that your bio is clear and concise, and you're going to use all of the other options on your profile. So for example, that you can use a contact button, an email button, you can put a link to your website in your link in bio. I'm sure we've all heard of link in bio, as opposed to putting those kind of things in the bio itself, because you're going to be wasting those 150 characters, and they are precious when it comes to your bio. So some tips then is to use the name field under your profile picture to ensure you are searchable. So essentially we can see here on the left on the slide, we have the creativesociety.ie, which is our username up at the top of the phone. And then we have social media and branding agency, which is essentially the core of what we do at the Creative Society. There's no point in us putting the Creative Society in there again, because people will find us using the Creative Society anyways because of our username. So you don't want to be using the same thing in your username and your searchable name. You want to have them different, but both things that people will be able to find you through searching. Explain who you are and what you do. Quick and punchy. Bullet points are definitely better than a paragraph. You want people to be able to just look really quickly and be able to tell straight away what you do. Link then to your website, booking system, use Linktree or links if you have more than one place you want to direct people. Whatever it is that wherever you want to send people, definitely pop that into your link in bio. provide a way for your followers to get in touch, and add a call to action. So you can see in ours, we have enroll in our workshops with the 2 kind of hands pointing down, and that's just letting people know that this is where they go to do that. So whether it's book now, shop the sale, get in touch, whatever your call to action that you want people to do for your business, make sure you're putting it there so that you're telling people this is where you go to do that. And then ensure your location is included somewhere in your bio if you are a bricks and mortar business. For us, we work completely online, so we don't have a location, but if you do, definitely make sure that that's clear on there somewhere. And then the last thing with regards to kind of making sure your profile is set up nicely is your highlight covers. So themed highlight covers are a must to create a professional and branded aesthetic and appearance. Essentially, you want people jumping onto your profile and getting that really good professional first impression. I always like to say that this part of your profile is essentially like your front desk if you had a physical business. So you want to have a good impression there. You don't want it to look thrown together and piles of paperwork hanging around the place. You know, you want it to be clean and professional looking, and that's essentially what you're trying to build through this profile as well. So the next thing then is branding your feed. So ensure that when you are creating content for your feed that you stick to your brand guidelines. And it is really important to have brand guidelines for your business so that you know kind of the rules that you want to follow within your feed, and making sure that everything is like related and together. You should have 2 to 5 colors in your brand color palette, and they will be mainly what you're going to use on Instagram. They should complement each other and complement your logo as well. And this is going to help to create that really nice first impression when people jump and land on your profile. Ensure any graphics that you create match your logo or your highlight covers and adhere to your brand typography and your color palette as well. And you may want to implement some style of grid design to help ensure your page looks branded and professional as well. So there's some examples here of branding a page versus having no branding on there. So here's one where on the left you can see there's kind of a bit of everything thrown in there. We've a leprechaun, we've COVID-19, we have pancakes, like flowers, there's about 20 different colors. It's just absolute madness. And then on the right, it's branded, it's really clean, it's a way more professional looking. If you had those 2 Instagram pages in front of you, you might say to yourself, I don't pay attention to the branding, I want the business, but you do get a way better impression from the one on the right as opposed to the left. Same here. You know, on the left, it's just kind of like unorganized, and there's not any kind of clear, your eye isn't drawn to any particular place. Whereas on the right, you have that really strong grid layout. You have your logo inside in the profile picture, the matching highlight covers, everything just looks really well put together. And you just know that if you go to that clinic, they're going to be really organized, they're going to be really professional, and they're going to be really good at what they do. And it's just that impression you're giving off to people when it comes to your business.
Amazing.
So if there's any questions, if you want to pop them into the chat or unmute yourselves, we have a little section for questions here before we jump on to chatting about content.
And we do have these sections throughout, guys. So if there is something that comes up and you're like, oh my God, what's that about? Just pop it into the chat box and we will address it during these little sections. I think pretty much everything we've discussed so far, Eimear, is pretty straightforward. So we'll move. Oh, I think there's one question through here.
So what about security of your account? I've seen a lot of people lose access to their business account recently. So that is to do with having 2-factor authentication on your profile, and absolutely have that on. You can get that through the settings and then into like security and privacy, and switch on 2-factor authentication, which essentially means that Instagram will just send you a code by text when you're logging in on a new device. So it means if somebody is trying to log in on to your profile, you'll get a text with a code, but they won't get the code, so they won't be able to get in. So definitely 2-factor authentication on everything, not even just Instagram, like everything you can get it, absolutely put on the 2-factor authentication for sure.
Amazing. Yeah, and everyone should have 2-factor, like Eimear said. And Claire just asked there, Eimear, can you prep your page before going live? i.e. I think Insta almost highlights new accounts, so can you save that until you are ready? So you can prep everything before you start posting, but you have to set up your profile like initially. So let's say, for example, you set up your profile with your highlight covers, with your logo and everything in your bio ready to go. But before you start posting, you do all that. And then once you're ready to launch, you start posting. What would you say, Eimear?
Yeah. So you can even keep it private as well if you want.
Yeah.
But there's no way, I suppose, of having everything drafted and then just like press publish. Once you set up your Instagram profile and you choose your username, you are essentially live and you're discoverable straight away. So there's no real way to like make a draft profile. I hope that answers your question. Yeah.
Amazing. So I don't think there are any more questions coming through yet, but keep them coming, guys. And like I say, we'll address them at points throughout. So our next module is Instagram content. So we're going to look at the different types of content available on Instagram and how to optimize a post for success. So first of all, you have to shift your focus. With our business, Eimear and I get asked all the time, how do I reach 10K followers? I need to get a certain amount of likes on this post. I'm not getting enough likes. How do I sell my products through Instagram? How do I build the courage to talk on stories? And really what your followers care about is how helpful or relatable your content is and if they feel connected to you. So you really have to shift your focus and start delivering valuable content. So just to touch on content pillars, there are content pillars are essentially 3 to 5 topics that you can focus on that would resonate with your target audience. They can be informational, educational, inspirational, or promotional. So just to give you guys some examples, and feel free to screenshot this as well if you want to take a picture on your phone. Informational would be your opening hours and your price list. Educational would be behind the scenes content and tutorials. Inspirational is your why and your business story, which is massive for building trust. And promotional then is offers and press. So there are different types of feed content genres. On Instagram, you can choose to post content both on your feed and on your stories, as you guys probably know. And when posting on your feed, there are several different types of content you can choose from. So the first one is photos or graphics, and these are single photos or graphics, and they're easy to post and can perform well if they have purpose and if they're valuable. The second type then is video. So this is videos that are under 60 seconds. They're great for organic reach and engagement, and video in general performs better than a static post or a photo or a graphic. Carousel posts then are brilliant and they can be really informational and educational. So users tend to stay on these posts a little bit longer because, as you can imagine, they're swiping past, so they're staying longer than just scrolling along. And the algorithm recognizes this and shares your content with more accounts. The fourth type then are reels, which I'm sure we've all heard about. Reels are short form video. They're 15 or 30 seconds. I believe that some people have got 60 seconds, but it hasn't reached us yet. And the potential for organic reach on this is massive. So your brand could go viral. So we definitely encourage people to get active on reels. And funny and short, relatable reels do perform really well as well. And then the last one is IGTV. So this is long form video. You can post videos up to 1 hour and use this to post like a weekly series or tutorials. Who is series activation there? Dean, who works in the Republic of Work from Cunningham Solicitors. He has a great series of IGTVs on his page. So that'll be worthwhile to check out. So optimizing your content then, now that we know the different genres that are available to you, let's look at how you can optimize it. So first and foremost, you want to create content that is relatable and content that will resonate with your target audience. So you want to post at times when your audience is active as well, and this is really important. You have to check your insights on your profile page to see when your audience is most active. And in some of our other workshops, we do go into a module on insights, but we just don't have time for it today, unfortunately. Add your location as well, because I know I live in Cork and I'm always looking at the Cork location. So you can see you're more discoverable basically if you add your location to a post or to a story. And write amazing caption hooks as well. You want your content to stop people from scrolling on. We always recommend people use hashtags. Again, you're more searchable and you're more discoverable when you use hashtags on your posts and on your stories. So these are just 4 important steps to optimizing your content. And the first one I mentioned a moment ago is to grab people's attention, guys. So the first line of your caption should be a scroll stopper, is what we call it. You want to make sure that people are not just scrolling past your content. They're going, oh, wait, what's this about? So always add your first line and make it, I don't know, make it important, and you want to make people stop scrolling basically. Your second one then is your hashtags. So you can add up to 30 hashtags to each post. Hashtags drive traffic to your page and make it more discoverable as well. The third thing I mentioned it a while ago, a location. So you can add this to both your stories and your posts. It's a geotag is what your location is. So you can see here under our post, it's Cork. And this will make your page more discoverable to those looking for products or services in your area. Really important if you're a bricks and mortar business to add your location as well. And then finally, a call to action. So in your caption, you should add a call to action. This will make it crystal clear to your followers what they should do to get in touch. And Eimear mentioned it when she was talking about the bio as well. It's really important that you give your followers direction, because otherwise they won't know how they can get in touch. Eimear, I saw a couple of questions were coming through there. Am I right? You're on mute. Every time.
Because I was typing and I was like, you're going to hear me typing in the background. So firstly, Melanie just asked, can you make your page private until launch? And I said, definitely, that's a really good idea to give yourself time to get everything prepped, get your highlights in order and everything like that before you make it go live and launch. And then the second question was, what are carousel posts? So your carousel posts, you'll know it as soon as I say it. It's those posts that have more than one photo that you can like swipe through. So you can swipe through and see more than one image. So it might be like a little gallery of images, or it might be like an informative slideshow. So like, like 5 ways to grow your business, and it's like step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So those kind of slideshows is another way to put there. The carousel posts, like you say, face palm now. So yeah, like you know what it is as soon as I say it, but it's the words like that they're called. Sometimes you aren't familiar with them, with what they're actually called, so that's no problem.
Amazing. Fab. So guys, if you do have any questions, unmute yourself. And if not, we'll keep going with our presentation. Just check
there as well. Yvonne messaged me directly and just said, can you speak about Reels and IGTVs? We won't have time today. We're going to do a bit on stories, because stories are really, really important for kind of growing engagement and building trust. But we just don't have time to go into everything today, because there is so much on Instagram. We could stay talking to you all for the day. But we'll be taking up a lot more of your lunch hour then if we were to do that.
But if you do, who is that? Yvonne, Eimear, was it?
Yeah.
Yvonne, if you want to head over to our website, we have pre-recorded workshops on Reels and stories and Instagram for business and stuff like that, where we go into a lot more detail. They're only €34, so they're very affordable. But yeah, unfortunately, maybe we might come back to Republic of Work and do that sometime. But Claire just asked there, do you think it's a good idea to have a set of, say, 12 posts before you go live? And what springs to mind there, Eimear, for me is Alpha, Josie's new business. So there's a new gym in Cork called Alpha, and what they did was they just had their logo, I'm sure, as the, let's say, 6 posts before they launched, just to get their branding on the page, which I thought was fabulous. And you could do a little countdown or something like that. But yeah, it really is personal preference, isn't it, Eimear?
Yeah, I do think having something on the page though before you kind of like make it known that it's there. So even if you don't have posts up there, just having, I suppose, like your highlights, so a bit of information there that people can look at, just so that people aren't going to come onto a blank page, not know what's going on and not going to follow. building some kind of intrigue as to what might be coming is a really good way to just get people to hit that follow button, because they know something that they're potentially interested in is going to be coming, because nobody's going to follow a blank page completely. So it's just getting a nice balance there is important, I think.
And Melanie just said there, and she's right, we should have clarified that. If you're a content creator, so if you're a business or a creator page, it won't allow you to be private, so you would have to swap to personal first, keep your page on private, and then you can actually make a business. So yeah, thank you for that, Melanie. So Eimear, I'll let you take over the first 3 slides here, because I know I totally really rushed you there.
I'm used to it. Okay. Okay, so we're going to have a little look at increasing engagement. So looking at the importance of engagement and interaction, and how you can ensure that others are going to engage with your content as well. So we did a little survey on Instagram a while ago. We asked, do you engage with other accounts on Instagram? So 26% of people said they do interact with other accounts with intention, and it is so important to do this in order for your page to grow quickly. But 74% of people said they don't, and we call this post and ghost. So it's basically when you just literally go on Instagram, you post, and then you don't engage with anyone. You don't reply to comments on your own posts. You don't reply to comments on, or you don't comment on other people's posts. You don't message anyone. You literally just like arrive and then leave straight away. So yeah, that's definitely something you don't want to be doing. We want to get that 26% up to 100% engaging with other accounts. So what is engagement for anyone who's not sure? Instagram engagement is how people are interacting with your content. So every time someone likes, comments, saves, or shares your content, they are engaging with it. So what is the algorithm then? So engagement and the algorithm go hand in hand. So the algorithm is essentially the brain within Instagram. And I know people have probably heard of this algorithm. They're like, what is going on with this? It's basically just artificial intelligence. It analyzes each piece of content that you post and decides who it's going to show it to. And it also looks at what your followers are already engaging with. And if they have interacted with content that's similar to yours, they're most likely going to see yours as well. So with the algorithm, then it prioritizes the best performing posts. So essentially it's going to push the most relevant pieces of content to the top of the feed, giving them the most visibility. And Instagram rewards accounts with visibility when your posts get high engagement. You create save-worthy content, you use stories consistently, you create reels, and you use new features. So like for the moment, captions is the massive one. So captions on your stories is a new feature that hopefully all of you will have. I think there's still some people out there who don't have the captions yet. But if you do have those kind of new features as they come out, definitely utilize them, because Instagram will reward you for that.
And I know, Eimear, you're going to show people how to use captions today, or at least where you can find them. And like you were mentioning, guys, reels are so important. Like that you have the potential to go viral with reels, even if you have a small follower count. So definitely start using them. One of our favorite topics that we like to teach about is engagement creates engagement. So you should be engaging with your current followers and follow back and respond to comments. Always respond to comments on your page, regardless of whether they're negative or positive. The majority of the time they will be positive, but if there is ever a negative comment, just respond to it and address it. Like post, comment on post, and message similar accounts in your industry, and always send supportive messages as well, or ask them even if they want to collaborate for a competition. You can use stories then to start conversations, which Eimear is going to teach you about shortly. So you can ask questions, do polls, and Instagram again rewards you for this because it's interaction and it's engagement. So just to go through the do's and don'ts of engagement, guys, we always recommend creating a community hangout for your niche. So for me and Eimear, for example, our target market is really the hair and beauty industry. So we have this kind of support group almost for the hair and beauty industry, where we help them grow their business on social media. We help them with different aspects of their business. Encourage your followers to share and save your posts. So always create savable content. It performs really, really well. Reply to all comments and DMs and reach out to people with supportive messages. And not only is that going to increase your interaction and your engagement, but it's also really nice to do. So especially if someone has just started a business, it's always nice to send them a nice supportive message. Don't join engagement pods. Don't follow and unfollow, and don't send DMs with a cold pitch or offer. For me anyway, the last one I find very frustrating and very annoying, so I wouldn't recommend anyone do that. And engagement pods and following and unfollowing, they kind of speak for themselves. You shouldn't be doing it. So before we go into our stories tour, guys, are there any questions coming through, Eimear?
Yeah, so Grant just asked there, what are the benefits of having your links in a links.co versus having it on a page on your own website? So it's completely up to you. Having it on a page on your own website obviously is great because you get the visits to your website and you're getting those views on your website. But then it's kind of weighing up, okay, have I got time to build that page on my website? Do I have to pay somebody to build that page on my website? The links.co, Linktree, all of those third-party apps and platforms that you can use, it's just simplifying it. It just makes it easier for you to set it up. So it's completely up to you. Obviously there is the benefit of having more visits to your website if you have it directly to your website, but it's just if you have the time or the resources or the knowledge of how to set that up. What do you use for your community hangout? So at the moment, we just have WhatsApp chats with all of our attendees to our workshops and stuff, but we're working on it.
Nice anyway, no? We're basically, can
I won't stop you if you want to.
We're launching a membership group. We said it to Angelica before we came on live, but we have a membership group that we're launching for the hair and beauty industry, and that'll be going live in July. So that will be our community hangout. And then Melanie asked, what is an engagement pod? So I'm surprised you haven't heard of them, Melanie, because they're all over Instagram and social media. So what they are is they can be on WhatsApp, they can be in Messenger, they can be in different places, but it's a group of accounts that get together, and you can actually purchase membership to these engagement pods, which I think is just crazy. But what happens is basically you post in the group when you've put up a post on social media, and you're prompting those people to interact with that post. So you're creating more engagement on that post, but we always warn against it because oftentimes the people in your engagement pod aren't your target market. So Instagram recognizes that you're engaging with these people and it's not showing your content to your actual target market and the people that are going to book and buy from you. So we always kind of say stay away from engagement pods if you can. They're just not worth it.
Definitely.
So that's great. We'll move on to our next section, so guys, which is our tour of Instagram stories. So Eimear, I'll let you take over here.
Amazing. So we're going to have a quick look at Instagram stories and just the features on there that you can use to drive traffic to your business and create more engagement, more of a community feel, and build trust through your stories as well. So I'm actually going to screen share my phone and we're going to jump onto stories. If you'd like to follow along, if you've got your phone beside you and you want to have a look together, absolutely do. Or if you'd rather just watch, that is perfect as well. So 2 seconds now. I'll get my phone going here.
And definitely, guys, keep the questions coming. Stories, a lot of people are using them anyway, but we've found through doing these workshops that not everyone knows all the features available to you on stories and how you can optimize stories to, create engaging content and create interaction with different accounts. So that's what Eimear is going to show you today.
Amazing. So can you see my phone there?
Yeah.
Amazing. So to access stories, I'm sure we all know the quickest and easiest way to get into your stories if you're in a panic to catch a photo is literally just pulling across on the screen. So pulling across from the left and opening up the camera. So now we've got a bit of inception here with me coming up on the two different screens. So the first couple of features I want to go through on stories is the different kind of ways that you can capture content on stories. And I think a lot of people just open their stories and take a photo. or maybe record hands-free, but they don't utilize the other features on there. So if we hit this arrow here at the left-hand side, you can see it there underneath these first 4 options. If we click this, we actually open up a whole list of different ways of capturing content through your stories. So definitely using these different ways of capturing the content is going to make your content on stories stand out, be a little bit more interesting compared to the story that comes before you on someone's feed or the story that's coming straight after you. So you want to make sure that you're standing out from the crowd. So some of my favorites there, the boomerang, obviously I'm sure we've all done the boomerang where we're like, woo, and it keeps playing that over and back. Layout is another really good one. That's like a collage. So you can actually create a collage through your stories. Photo booth is fab. Photo booth basically will shoot like up to 4 photos and then keeps replaying them as if it was taken in a photo booth. And then obviously hands-free is like the one that I use the most. And if you're sitting down and recording stories, prop up your phone and use the hands-free and take a step back, because it looks a way more professional to do a hands-free as opposed to actually be holding it and, you know, your arm is hanging out there at the side and you can kind of see the phone is shaking and everything like that. Hands-free just means that it's in the one place and you can sit back and you can talk. And as you can see from this, I talk with my hands, so I definitely need the hands-free to be able to have the chats on stories and things. So I am just going to, for now, just take a quick plain photo. So I'm just going to take that just to bring us through to the next screen. So no matter whether you're taking a video, a photo, whatever it is, the layouts or the photo booth, whatever, you'll come through to this screen once you've got your content taken. So we've got a couple of different options across the top. Then you've got your save button. So this just means it'll save to your camera roll. You've got the link. So you can add a link if you've got over 10,000 followers, or as I mentioned earlier, if you have got a Facebook or Instagram shop set up, you can actually link to products through there as well. So if you sell physical products, it is definitely worth getting your Facebook shop set up. And once you have the Facebook shop set up, you can bring your catalog over to Instagram then, but it's definitely worth it. This 3 stars here is just to add some filters if you want to. I'll come back to this guy in a second because this is the main guy for today. This little squiggle or scribble, whatever you want to call it, is like your writing or your doodles. So you can draw on the screen or write like with your finger or a pen if you've got a pen, whatever it is. And then the AA here is adding text. So that's the last one, that's adding text to the story. But the main one I want to look at today, because this is probably something that people don't utilize enough, is these features that come inside in this little guy with a smiley face. So opening up him, the first thing we can see are your location, mention, and hashtag. So they're pretty self-explanatory. You're tagging your location, tagging another page, or using your hashtags. So they're definitely ones that you can use, and you can make them really small as well if you don't want it to look too spammy. But having them in your stories makes your stories more discoverable. And if you're mentioning people, there's a way higher chance of them sharing their story or your story to their feed, and then you're coming up in front of a whole new audience as well. So definitely using the mention sticker as well. The next one then, so questions. So if you want to do a question box on your story, and I think people forget that they can do this. So if you're struggling to come up with content, or you're struggling to know what it is that your followers want to know, so you can create that valuable informational content that people are going to share and save, just ask people what they want to know. Like, get your question box and say, like, what do you struggle with when it comes to XYZ? And whatever it is that you're offering, what your product or your service or whatever it is. And when they get those answers, you create content around those answers. So you don't have to do a question box to come on and do a live Q&A. You can use it to do a little bit of like market research and figure out what it is that people actually want to learn about. So for example, if you like, I don't know, have a skincare range, our experience, as we've said, is in hair and beauty. So we always just refer to that industry when we're talking about it, but it is applicable across the board. But if you have a skincare range and you pop in there, like, what do you struggle with when it comes to your skin? Then if people say, I've really dry skin, I've got breakouts, the masks are wrecking my skin, whatever it is, you can then create content on your page that basically shows the solution to the problem that they have, but bringing in your product then or your service into it. So it's another way of creating kind of like the salesy post without being like sleazy sales, you know, that kind of way. You don't want to be like, buy this, buy this. You're like, this is the problem, this is the solution. So you're going to help your customers that way. You're going to make more sales that way as well. So the question box, if you do nothing else, use the question box to do market research, find out what people want to know, because it's a really great way of getting engagement on your stories and for creating content then going forwards. I'm going to just bring this guy down and we'll jump back in here. So the GIFs, I'm sure we know they're all the like moving stickers and stuff. So there's lots of options when it comes to the moving stickers that you can pop on your stories. Music, very self-explanatory. Again, it's just adding music to your stories. So if you've got a photo or something and there's not actual speaking in it, it can be nice to add a bit of music there to give a nice kind of vibe to the stories. Then you've got your rating. So this can be like if you're asking a question like, how's everyone's Monday going? Pop the rating in there. It's a very, very simple one, but it just means that people are going to, and I know it, I couldn't even know whose story I'm on. And I'll still, if I see that, I'm like, oh yeah, it's like a little game that you just want to slide it up and down. So it's a way of getting people to engage in a really simple and easy way. Next thing then, and this is the next big one, is your polls. And polls are a really, really good way of getting people to engage with your stories. So almost creating like a little game out of it. So you could do like, would you rather, and you can obviously bring it to be relevant to your brand, but you could play like, would you rather, and ask questions of people, or do you know this, like, you know, state of fact, did you know that hyaluronic acid holds up to 100 times its weight in water? That's just a fact. And people could be like, yes, I knew that. Oh my God, no, I didn't know that. And it's a good way of getting people to engage with the stories again. Make them fun and make them interesting, and they will work really, really well. Same with the quiz. So you can do a little quiz with people. Again, bring it back to your own brand, whatever it is, build maybe questions around it. So for example, I don't even know, like, what ingredient protects you from the sun? SPF, retinol, or vitamin C? Obviously the answer is SPF protects you from the sun, but then you could bring a story into it, the next one, and be like, the reason why you should be wearing SPF, blah, 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 blah. So there's ways around that. And I know I keep referring to kind of things that are to do with the beauty industry, but you just need to take this and make it your own. So some question that you could ask within your industry or your profession that is going to get that kind of thought process going with people, get them thinking about things, make it fun, make it interesting on your stories, and you will see your views and your engagement on your stories go way up. And the last one then that my phone is after locking itself, sorry now.
And then just to touch on the music sticker, Eimear, we spoke about it earlier, guys, but if you don't have access to chart music, if you only have access to royalty-free music, that little sticker that Eimear is pointing at there, if you swap from a business to a creator account, you will have access to all that music.
Yeah, and you have way more music to choose from then. The last one I wanted to just touch on really quickly before we start to wrap up is the countdown one. If you have a launch, an event coming up, you were reopening after COVID, whatever it is, use the countdown, because people can actually set a little reminder. And if you have a competition launching, anything like that, when the countdown comes up for your viewers, they can tap it and they can set a reminder, and Instagram then will notify them that, you know, the countdown is over. So whatever it is live. So if it's a new product is live, an event, tickets, whatever it is, they'll get a notification, and that will actually bring them back to your page then. So definitely utilize the countdown as well if you haven't already, and it's very easy to set up. You literally just put in like a set end date and time, and you can set it to be like the 2nd of June at 1:45, let's just say, and it'll count down then 10, 9, 8, 7, 6 down the hours right up until it. And then once it goes off, everybody will get a notification then to say that it's going off. So definitely use that as well if you have got a launch coming up.
Amazing, fab. So any questions, guys, shoot them through. One thing I know, Eimear, that people always find intriguing, and a lot of people know about it, some people don't, is how to change the color of the background of your stories. Do you want to show people how to do that? Because every time we do a workshop, people are like, mind blown. Like,
Okay, I'll show you really quickly. So how to change the color of the background. So like obviously here we've got red now because I just put my finger over the back of the camera, but it especially works if you're sharing a post from the feed to the stories, and you know Instagram puts that kind of, it draws a color from it, but it'll draw the worst possible color. So it'll be like a dirty, mucky brown or a gray or not a nice color, and definitely not a color that's on brand for you. So it's really important to keep your stories on brand as well, to keep them recognizable for people who are following you. So to do that, to change the background of the color, you want to go into the little doodle, so the little scribble at the top, and make sure you're on this first option here. So beside the word undo, you want to make sure that it's on that first option, which it automatically goes to that first anyway. So if you haven't pressed any of the other ones, it'll stay on that first marker. And to change the color of the background, basically the first thing you want to do is choose your color. So for us, for our brand colors, we're like pastel, peachy, creamy kind of tones. That's our brand. So obviously none of these first few colors match our brand whatsoever. But if we swipe over through the colors down at the bottom of the screen, it actually gives you more options. So there's more kind of like muted tones, more pastel kind of colors. So obviously they suit our brand much better. And I think for a lot of people, it's very rare that you'll have a really bright primary colors in your logo. You'll always have a kind of a variation of a color. So it's definitely worth noting that there is that second page of colors. And then to get a kind of a color that suits the brand a bit better, what I'm going to do is on one of these little circles down at the bottom of the screen here, I'm going to just hold down. And what that does then, it brings up a whole rainbow of colors at the bottom of the screen. And I'm still holding the screen. I haven't lifted up my thumb yet at all. And I can just move through and I can find like colors there that will work. So I'm going to go for this kind of taupey brown up here. And then to change the color of the background, all I'm going to do is literally just hold down on the screen, and the whole screen then will go on that color. So just to show again really quickly, I'm holding down on a circle of color at the bottom to bring up my little color wheel. And I'm kind of moving through the colors to see what color suits me. And I'm going to then hold down on the screen for about 2 seconds, and the whole screen then should color into the color that you want it to be. So that's just a little tip for making the stories look more on brand as well.
Amazing. And Grant just asked there, do you create all your IG content in the IG app, or do you ever create content using computer software or browser-based tools? So I was literally just typing back to you, Grant, there when Eimear finished, so I said I'd say it instead. So we use both. So if we're sharing stories or we're sharing post to our stories, we'll obviously do that within the IG app. If we're in a rush to put something up, we'll do it within the Instagram app as well. But if we're creating a campaign for stories or we have something planned, we normally do that on another app. So for example, Canva or Over, or like we use so many different apps, it's insane. But there is so much that you can do with stories. But I suppose for today, it's all about the Instagram app. So this is what you can do from within the app.
Yeah, and a little side note as well, Instagram way prefers when you create in the app as well. So for stories in particular, as much as you can create in the app, but then obviously like it's not possible all the time to be kind of creating on the spot. So we do a mixture of both, and that works really well for us.
Yeah. Amazing. And again, guys, we have another workshop, a pre-recorded workshop all about stories. So it goes into a lot more detail on the different features on stories, and Eimear presents that one as well. So it's brilliant. Is it true that Insta will soon let you schedule? I'm assuming you're talking about stories, Claire, and if so, it's already here. Some people have it, some people don't. So through Facebook Business Suite, you can actually schedule your stories. Eimear has access to it, and unfortunately I don't yet, which is very annoying. Oh, Eimear, captions.
Oh, that's weird. Why didn't they come up for me on it?
Oh, did they not show up?
No, but they should have, because I use them all the time. I'm like a bit worried now. I'm like, are they after taking them away from me?
I have it on mine anyway, so I can share my screen as well. So captions are Instagram's.
Oh, it's because I don't have a video. I have to record a video.
So do you want to do a quick video there just to show people where captions are? And captions, you can mute yourself even, Eimear, and Zoom while you're recording the video, and I'll just explain what captions are. So captions are basically the newest feature on Instagram, guys, for stories, where it's self-explanatory. They add captions to your videos. So a lot of the time, because we're Irish, our accents aren't very easy to understand, so they can get the wording wrong. So you might want to edit it afterwards, and Eimear will show you how to do that as well. But captions are great because, again, Instagram pushes its newest features. So if you're utilizing its newest feature, it'll push your content a little bit more. And they're really handy as well, because we've had people come to our workshops who are hard of hearing. So there might be people watching stories who might not be able to hear them. And as well as that, for me, and Eimear, I know you're the same, I could be watching stories while I'm also with my partner at night having dinner, or not having dinner, but watching TV. So I never have the volume on stories. So if you want people to watch your stories through to completion, I would always add in captions. Otherwise, they're just gonna go straight out of them. Eimear, you're on mute there now.
Auto-generated for you. So to use the captions.
Sorry, I can't hear you when I turn it down, so I have to turn it off. Okay, so
and you can hit the caption sticker.
I don't know if that's going to work because of the two voices coming
yeah,
in.
okay, I just turned off the volume of the story for a second because, oh my God, that was getting confusing. So to find your captions, what you want to do is inside this smiley face here, if we go in here, and they're there now for me, this is the sticker you're looking for. So it's CC captions, and if you want to, you can search for it up in the top here as well. So if I type in captions, so if it's not coming up for you straight away, search for it. And then if it is still not coming up for you, it just means you don't have them yet. But if I tap captions, it just transcribes the audio for me. And then it just types it out on the screen, and there's a couple of different options of like fonts that you can choose down at the bottom as well.
And then if you want to edit it, Eimear, because I was just saying there that a lot of the time it picks up the wording wrong. So
to edit it, you just tap it, and you can just tap the word that you want to edit, and that's it. And then you press done.
It's gas, it like bleeps out like curse words and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's so funny sometimes when it picks up the words, it's like completely different to what you had said. But
yeah,
anyway, that's great.
Definitely saves time.
What?
It definitely saves time.
Oh, it does, absolutely. Yeah. So thank you for going through that. Amanda just reminded us there that we said we'd go through it. So that's great, guys. We have come to the end of our workshop today. I'm just going to share my screen for the last few slides. First of all, I just want to say thank you so much for joining us today. We really enjoyed it, and we hope you did too. We hope you learned a lot. It really is the basics of Instagram, so the fundamentals. A lot of you are probably pros at Instagram already, but if you do want to learn a little bit more, we do have those pre-recorded workshops available from our website. So our website is www.thecreativesociety.ie, and we do web design. We have 2 qualified web designers working for us. We do branding, graphic design, product photography, social media management, and content creation. And we're offering everyone 10% off the pre-recorded courses that I was mentioning throughout. Again, you can access them through our website, www.thecreativesociety.ie, and then at the checkout, you just pop in the discount code ROW, Republic of Work, ROW10, and you'll get 10% off. Like I say, they're really affordable anyway. They're only about €35, so I think they're about €31 with the discount code. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm just going to make sure there's not any questions that have come through since your stories there, Eimear.
Nope, there's no questions, just everyone saying thanks. So thank you all so much. Just to reiterate what Kate said, it was great having you all joining us today. And thanks to Angie and Republic of Work for having us as well.